Have you ever stopped to think about what our grandparents tried so hard to teach us? And maybe it wasn't a grandparent, maybe it was an auntie or an uncle or someone that was very strong within our communities, those elderly people who had wisdom and who looked out for us in the community. What were they trying to teach us? Looking back, I believe many of those lessons weren't just what we call old fashioned. They were the very things that helped hold our communities and our families together. Today, I want to share 5 lessons many of our grandparents or solid elders in the community tried to pass down. And those are faith in God, loving our neighbors, building strong families, supporting our communities, and leaving something for the next generation. Let's get into it. Faith in God. One thing I've noticed today is that many conversations emphasize looking to our ancestors, praying to our ancestors. But when I think about my grandparents and great grandparents and a lot of our grandparents and ancestors, I think about what they actually taught and what they actually practiced and what they actually did and what they actually stood on. And that was their belief in what the world knows as Jesus Christ. This is what they prayed on. This is what they stood on all day, every day, 24/7. This is what got them through the worst time in human history. It's their faith and their practice and their belief in God. Their faith carried them through so many situations. I mean, can you imagine having a plan to escape, knowing that you're outnumbered on every hand, knowing that there's dogs in the fields that can start barking at every time, but you have this notion that you want to be free and you have an escape plan? Do you know how terrifying that was for so many of our people? But yet they prayed together. They read the word as much as they could, and they had a belief system that they could do it. So faith in God was very, not just important, but it was vital to their survival. Love your neighbor. We already know how systematic pressures have made it to where we don't look out for each other as much as we should, and definitely not as much as our past Black communities stood together. And it's something that we are starting to get back into, and I'm glad that we are being forced to know who each other are, you know what I'm saying, in terms of lineage. We're forced to do that. And we love everybody, and we'll, as long as you respect us, we love everybody and respect everybody. But there's something different when you know and you see when you're out and about your direct people who have the same lineage as you, share the same ancestry as you. That means something. So being able to maybe go an extra mile for those people in your neighborhood and those who come about you that may need just a hand. Number 3, build strong families. We were the ones that had the highest marriage rates once upon a time. They believed in it. They believed in jumping the broom, even though sometimes on those plantations the husband would get shipped away or the wife would get shipped away. They still believed in that thing called marriage, not knowing if they're going to be able to be together until death do them part. But that was their plan. That was their agenda, was to be together. And even throughout the 1900s, the early 1900s, all the way up until probably about the 80s, mid to late 80s, is when we started to see a change. But having that strong male in the household, and we're starting to see that more and more now, and that's a good thing. Having a mom in the household and raising, teaching, nurturing the next generations to come, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what our people that we come from believed in. Support for the community. We often talk about Black Wall Streets, and there was a lot of Black Wall Streets. There were several Black Wall Streets that occurred. And during that time that we were able to build those communities, we did it without the help of any government. But because we loved our neighbors and we looked at our neighbors as our families, we've been able to build strong communities. Although the tides were against us, we were still able to do that in the midst thereof, starting businesses. And the thing is, too, that I think about it, is we were so close together. We had no choice because it was only black and white. You might have had a few sprinkles here and there, but for the majority, especially before 1920, it was black and white only. And we were the minority. It was triple of them to us. So during that time, We had no choice but to spend money with each other because we were in close proximity to each other. We knew what Miss Annabelle sold. We knew what Mr. Jones had at his store. We knew who cut hair. We knew all of these things, or they knew all of these things. And even some of us had the opportunity to witness a lot of this stuff when we were growing up, especially if you grew up um, before the 90s, I would say. You had an opportunity to actually see what that looked like. And another thing that I think about is the legacy that was left and the legacy that we need to focus on leaving behind. Our ancestors, our great-grandparents, our great-great-great-great-grandparents, they set the stage for us. They went through a lot for us to get to this moment right here. And we are starting to understand the value of who we are more so than ever. We've always had pride. We've never wanted to be, as a whole, we never wanted to be like anybody else. We were grateful and blessed that we were who we were, despite everything that came our way, and we're still like that today. So leaving a legacy. A lot of land was stolen from a lot of our ancestors and our family members. A lot of land was stolen. Monies were stolen. Contracts were not met. Not on our end, but on the other end. A lot of stuff went down. But being able to leave a legacy behind for your children. And one of the ways that you can do that, parents, just saying, is if you have a child that is under 18 years old, and I would say the younger you can get started, as soon as they come out, you need to go ahead and give them a life insurance policy, whole life. So by the time that child gets to be 21, 25, whatever, there's a great amount in it for them. You can either continue to pay it for them to make sure that they don't leave, miss any payments or anything like that, or you could turn it over to them if they're responsible in keeping that going, and that creates generational wealth. So if you have an infant, if you have a toddler, if you have a child, whatever, the sooner that you can get them a whole life policy, not a term, a whole life policy, you can get more money for less, especially when they're minors. So that's one thing. But leaving a legacy, and not only just leaving money for them, but we have to learn how to teach our children how the financial world works. And if we are unsure, we have to educate ourselves so we can pass that information on to the next generation. So with those lessons, maybe our grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-great-great-grandparents weren't trying to hold us back. Maybe they were trying to hand us something that would help us move forward. And I have a question. What did your grandparents teach you? Did they teach you some of these values that were mentioned today? And maybe it wasn't a grandparent. Maybe it was an auntie, or, like I said, a elder member of the community, someone at a corner store, mom and pop shops. What lessons did you learn from an elder in your life? Let me know. I look forward to reading your comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. May the Most High bless.